It's Sunday night, the 24th. I was planning on doing a diary earlier and just having good family time, so didn't want to stop the process, but it was starting to get late, and I think it's gonna take off raining here soon, so wouldn't be the best environment to record in. Um, I think the last diary that I did was Thursday. Let me think. No, I think it was Wednesday night. Um, Thunder peals. And then Thursday I was going to my brother's, and then we did Caleb and I did some installation stuff with him, and we had a fun night, working together and doing stuff, and then I every day intended to do a diary, but just busy days and all that. Man, kinds of goddamn notifications. But the good thing is things got better really after Wednesday. Tuesday was just such a horrible, shitty day for a batch of reasons, and try to make these fucking notifications go off. But anyway, things started getting a little bit better, and I wish I'd been doing one of these every day, because each day had some really good things. But I'll try to remember and be brief. It was good just hanging at my brother's, and Caleb hanging out, and we just did a few hours of work, had some takeout Chinese food, smoked some crappy cigars at nighttime, and watched some funny shows. There were some let me think here. We watched some of that Little Dicky Show Dave, which Clay got me started on, and then I turned him on to some Mark Riboulet songs, or Riboulet, or probably not getting the correct pronunciation of his name, but the guy that does all the funny, salacious songs on YouTube and Instagram. And we were just sitting on his extra sofa, and all of us watching these shows and videos and stuff, and there were a few moments there where I was just cracking up super hard, and these little spaces of time where just the difficulty of everything that's happening right now, kind of fades away for a few. And then came home the next day, got some stuff done, and wrote some poems each day pretty much. Friday, been going to Oasis about every day. Friday afternoon, evening, met my mom at Oasis. We hung out for about an hour and a half. Man, it's about to start fucking coming down here. And so that was cool. I had a good talk, and just, talking about Nathanael memories and different things and the plans and all that. Then Saturday morning, woke up, and Angie and I laid around in bed together, and we listened to some songs together, and I put an earbud in my ear, and then she had an earbud in hers, and I played some of the songs just some of my own favorite songs I really love, but some specific songs that I've been listening to a lot right now. And There's a sack over here making a wind noise. And there's this, well, no, this is the problem when I don't do one of these diaries for a few days, is I forget what I've already talked about to myself on a computer. But there's this one David Gray song that just came out, Running on the Waves, that was just really hitting me for just different reasons when I was listening to it a few days ago, and then I was playing that for Angie and some other songs and some stuff, and I published or shared, whatever you want to say, a poem that I wrote the day that we, as a family, went and picked out the stone for Nathanael, and we're designing that with the fella from the monument company. His name is Jim. And I wrote this poem called Losing Feathers, about a situation that happened at, well, that, and then a situation that happened at Clay's after. So I shared that, and then I posted an update, I think Friday, on just where everything's at so far. Because of the coronavirus stuff and backlog in the funeral industry, and the fact that people in these state situations are, working from home and not as many people in offices, things are just moving slower in Nevada than they otherwise, would. And we had thought that we would be going out next week, or well, this week at some point, to, and on which is definitely, we're going to do a road trip now. We had thought that we were going to be going out later this week or at some point this week. Well, now it looks like it may be the 5th before we can get Nathaniel's ashes. And we'd already, now at this point, I'm really happy, moved back the potential gathering. So many sirens. From the Saturday the 6th to Saturday the 13th, which I think that will still work, but so now it may be, I don't know, the Tuesday or Wednesday before the 5th, which I think is the Friday, that we would head out, and then we might not get back until Monday or Tuesday or something. So there may only be 3 or 4 days in between when we get back in the gathering, which might make things a little bit compressed, but whatever. It is what it is. And then yesterday morning, after Angie and I had listened to music and I was still lying in bed, I ended up writing, or starting to write, a song which is really about this time. Wasn't planning on writing anything, it just kind of happened that way. She had gone out to get ready, take a shower and stuff like that, and I was still laying there, and just how songs sometimes come. There's no prior planning whatsoever on I'm gonna start writing a song now. It just starts coming. And then I had some time last night alone at the house, which I don't even know if I've been home just me since Nathaniel died. But for the first time, in coming up on 3 weeks, I pulled one of my guitars out and started playing. And I played this song by Camp, and just changed one word in the chorus from her to him. And I was thinking about Nathaniel, and I couldn't quite get all the way through the song, but it felt good to sing. And I played my old guitar, my old Ovation, which I hadn't played in a long time. But it was kind of hitting me in the feels, and my voice was it's better, feeling a lot better today. But when I drove to Waverly, and I was just everything, I was just letting it out in the car and screaming and yelling, and that just rasped out my throat like in years. My throat hasn't felt like that vocal cord wise. And So I still kind of raspy yesterday, and as I was like playing this song, each time I was getting ready to play, you know, whatever and sing before I even got to that song, I was taking a tug of Grandpa's cough medicine, as it were, some JTS Brown 100 proof. Um, so I was getting just little bit tipsy there, and then when the feels started hitting me singing, um, I just went on a walk, and uh, that was good. But anyway, then we had a good night last night as a family, and oh, don't want to forget this. We had really gone back and forth on whether or not to, you know, put a thing out along with an update of would anyone like to, you know, because folks buy flowers and do things like that. And since we're not having a traditional funeral, we wanted to offer, you know, especially because it would really help the family, especially in times like these, because there's the expenses locally with funeral or the cemetery and the hole being dug and all that and the stone, and then there's the out there stuff, and then getting out there and back. So we were kind of going back and forth on all that, and then decided to um, you know, just put if you know people would like to contribute in lieu of flowers or something like that, just directly to his memorial costs. And so I just put a little PayPal link in there, and you know I figured you know maybe some folks would throw you know $5, $10, $20, you know maybe you know things like that. But it's really been extremely encouraging and helpful um, because you know a decent amount of folks have you know sent us some funds, and that's been uh, it's just been one of the things that's been encouraging. And there are just times when like there's so many things through this whole process, and just the, you know I really don't want to get in some down mood or sad mood, I guess, thinking about Nathaniel passing. But things have just been discouraging, and there have been a few things that have been encouraging just when we need it. You know, it's some of those things have been very small things, you know, but they've really mattered. They've been at the right, you know, at a helpful time or a helpful day or moment, you know, and just to see, and some of the folks aren't even people who like we locally know. I mean, there was a lady um, who had worked with Nathaniel in the North Rim who reached out to me and said a few days ago, or that evening, I think after we posted the update, that you know she'd like to contribute a little bit, and but she didn't have PayPal. You know, do I have Venmo or whatever? I was like, well, I'll look into it. You know, which I did, and then I downloaded it, and then you know she sent you know like a really nice contribution. You know, and it'll help, and other people have too. And it's not just. I mean, if it's a small amount, I mean, we've been in situations where like you know $10 is a lot of money in your life when you're raising kids and things. So any person that takes, I like, you know, I told our daughters yesterday when we were eating, and they were asking about, um, you know, folks have been writing or anything, and I said, you know, never forget, just like I wouldn't, people that have helped my family, I mean, our family, but say my parents out in times before or whatever, you know, people that are there for you when it really counts. It's like never forget these people. I don't care if it's 50 fucking years from now. Don't forget that these people were there for you at a tough time. Um, and then uh, Thursday. I think it was Thursday morning. So Tuesday was just my really horrible day. Wednesday sucked too for the most part, but it was not as bad as Tuesday. Well, Angie on Thursday, I hope this is still heard okay with all the rain and thunder. On Thursday, uh, Angie just woke me up um, with wifely blessings. Um, well, I ended up writing a poem about it, but I was still really sad on Thursday morning. I was still really sad, and it was hitting me. And Thursday morning, I didn't even realize it, but when then I didn't know that Angie was awake, but I was just there snuggling her, and I had my arm around her, and I was literally the instant I was in the middle of a dream, and you just snap awake, and I just came directly. It's like you're dreaming, and it's all vibrant, and you're just boom, you're awake. The first fucking thought that entered my head, like I was hearing myself say it, was the sentence "Nathanael is dead," and it just, you know, it's just rough. And so I just took, without realizing, I just took a really deep breath and exhaled, and Angie was awake, and she said, "What's wrong?" And I didn't want to bum her out first thing, so I just said nothing. I did the woman thing. And I lied and I said nothing was wrong. Um, and which, I was full of shit, and I knew that she knew I was full of shit, but I just didn't want to lay it all on her first thing. Well, then she just, you know, gets freaky and gives me some salacious morning morning sex, and then just said, "I wanted you to have a good day. I wanted your day to start off well today." So that was just super sweet, and which we've, you know, uh, tried to make sure that each other has been taken care of as far as all that goes through all this. And that's something that, it's like, it's difficult to prioritize, but important. And but some of the things that she said, and then the timing of what she did, plus some of the songs that I was listening to in this, it just really, I was thinking so much about how important hope is when you're going through these just horrible situations, but not just hope, not just, but hope with some action behind it, you know. And my wife Thursday, Angie, she hoped I had a good morning and I had a good day, and she did something about her hope. And then I've been trying to do that myself, and it's like I hope that my kids are doing well and they're having a good time. So I'm trying to go out and we'll have pie, we'll have coffee, we'll have breakfast, and we'll talk. We'll go on walks together, and just the whole family is doing this, and friends, and um, so I've been thinking a lot about that, and then it has been very difficult. So two things that are kind of close to one another emotionally in all this. And I think this is because I can't necessarily 100% put my finger on why last Tuesday was such a just horrible day. Uh, and just the range of emotions and all this kind of thing. And I think a big part of it is, one, I was pretty much solitary for a good part of the day, which I think I may have even said this the other day, but I had a lot of time to myself and away, and Waverly, and Center Grove, Greenwood area, and like went right past the house that I grew up in, and the other place that I grew up in, and uh, so all that, and I was at the cemetery, and you know, over in Bargersville where my dad lived when he died, and so just a lot of old and nostalgic, and you know, all these types of emotions along with everything difficult that's going on right now. But it kind of made me think about how when there are forest fires, that I've heard people, and this is anecdotal, I'm no forest fire expert, but it works for the metaphor, how it's actually good, uh, you know, every so often for there to be small fires in forests, because it burns a lot of the loose top growth, but the fire, or dead stuff, and things like that are dry, but there's not enough of that to get enough heat that it burns up all the trees and everything else. So that kind of, if you want to call it like controlled burn that happens, is actually good. But if too much of that, you know, dead dry stuff builds up over time, then you have a fire. There's enough there to burn that it just consumes everything. It goes out of control. And I think that between when that first phone call happened and I found out that Nathanael died, and Tuesday, without realizing it, even trying to be cognizant of my own emotional state and all this kind of stuff, I think that a certain amount of uh, seriously, is this goddamn World War III or something kicking off? What the hell's going on around here? Like sirens surrounding me. I think that there were just a lot of uh, subconscious emotions and just feelings and all of this that then being put in a setting that was very nostalgic, and then literally standing at the grave, like I'm 6 feet away from the remains of my grandfather and my grandma Doherty and my dad, and then standing where a hole is going to be dug that my son is going to be placed into, part of his ashes. All of that just created an emotional fire that just had so much available to consume that it just was just raging that day. So that's something that I'm trying to think about, be aware of, is try not to let, I guess I'll call that emotional deadfall. I don't know. Um, Build up to where, when it ignites, it just wrecks an entire day, or uh, just consumes my entire emotional state and the complete just bandwidth of my being, as it were, mentally. Um, and so there's that kind of that conceptually, but then another thing is, and this I don't guess is good or bad, it's just what things are. It's like right now it's very hard for me to look at pictures of Nathaniel, because it's even hard to fucking think about it, because at this stage that's so close to his loss, and he's my son, it's like every memory, like just earlier I was thinking, my Caleb said something and it reminded me of something in the movie Dances with Wolves. And I was like, oh my gosh, we were out on a walk. I was like, let's watch that movie tonight. And I had it on VHS, and I actually forgot that I'd found that at Goodwill, and it was still brand new in the package, an original 1990 VHS tape or whatever. So we opened that up and we were watching that, and there was this part where, as Kevin Costner and the other guy, the wagon guy, are going out to this post, and they find this dead skeleton, and he laughs, and the other guy, the skeleton, or the mule driver, and he says, someone back east is saying, why don't he write? And I remember being in the movie theater and my dad cracking up at that, and smile, like him laughing made me smile, and then I told Caleb, I was like, I remember watching this the first time and Grandpa laughing at that. Well, my dad died 12 years ago, right? Um, yeah, I think so. 12 years. Well, um, but it's been long enough that I can think of memories of him, and it's just happy. Now there are times when I'm very sad about it, and there are times when it hits me very hard. But I can think of a story he told, and I can just laugh, or I can just reminisce, or what have you. But right now, thinking about Nathaniel, every memory is this like Schrodinger's cat in the box type situation where it exists in two states at the same time. Every single memory of Nathaniel, or when I look at pictures, like he's a little kid and he's smiling, and all this kind of stuff, every memory is fucking sorrow and happiness simultaneously, and it's just like, I just can't overload myself with that right now. And I don't know when that's not going to be like that. I can't predict that. I don't know if it'd be years, maybe years. I don't know. I'm not going to stop remembering and thinking about him every fucking day, but I can't do it. I can't flip through pictures without smiling and being fucking crushed at the same time. So, anyway, I'm getting 27 minutes deep here, so I'll probably cut it off for today, but I need to try to be more diligent. I feel like at least until, I don't know, just whenever these are just, they're just helping. It just helps to sit here and talk. Um, I'm sure at some point I won't do this anymore, but for now I'm doing it, and I'm going to try to do it, I think, daily or every other day, but try to keep it a little bit shorter. I don't know why that matters, but more for, it's easy to forget things that are poignant or important. So it's 8:30, and I'm about to walk over and pick up Charity from work in the rain, so I need to get my galoshes on or something. And then me and Cable will finish watching our VHS tape and have some dinner together. So until next time.